Good morning, everybody. This is Terry with Gateway to Counseling. And yes, I am in my car. No, I am not driving. I am stationary. So I am coming to you guys because I have meetings to get to this morning. Um, but thank you for the question. The question is, how do I overcome my fear of men after being sexually assaulted? Let me first of all say I am so sorry that you had that experience. I think a large percentage of women go through either being sexually abused or sexually assaulted, raped, molested, harassed, whatever you want to call it. A lot of women go through this in their life. Good morning. Yes, I'm waving to you. So a lot of women go through this, and it affects all of us in so many different ways. From having this fear of men, having fear of a certain race of men. I knew a lady who was Caucasian and was very much afraid of Caucasian men. And you might think, well, why? Well, her father had sexually abused her and her sister for an extended amount of time. And it was her step-grandfather who saved and protected them. And he was a black man. So as you can imagine, she was not only afraid of Caucasian men, but she ended up marrying a black man because she felt safe with them. That was her situation. I don't want you guys to be afraid of any men, but while I'm saying that, I do want to also tell you that we should always be cautious of everyone around us. It's not just men who sexually abuse girls or sexually assault women. We have women who sexually assault women. Yes, you might not have heard that before, but they do. We have women who sexually abuse children, both girls and boys. And we even have mothers who sexually abuse their daughters. I don't know if you guys remember that movie, the book Precious, I think it was. So it happens, guys. This is true stuff. It happens. And it can cause us to be afraid of certain situations. I know people who sometimes can be afraid to be in certain spots of town, certain places in their homes, to be away from certain individuals. So what do we do to overcome that fear, right? That's the big thing, because we can't just stay away from all men. We can't just decide, oh, well, I'm not going to date or marry a man. I'm going to be with women because they're safer. And some people do that. But I don't want you to have that fear inside of you. What I prefer is that you learn to overcome it. Because not everyone is bad. Not all men are bad. Not all women are bad. Not all one race is bad, right? We all have something going on. So what you have to do is know your red flags. And that's in any given situation. When I was in Argentina by myself, walking around town, trying to go to the bank and get some money, I was walking in a pretty populated area, right? And I noticed this man driving in his car, and he started to talk to me, and I kind of waved him off or whatever. And I realized that it was obvious that I was a tourist because I was the only black there, right? And so I had to be mindful of my environment. I travel by myself a lot. So I'm constantly scanning to see what's around me, that I can dart into a place like I belong there. I was planning to go there. And thank heavens there was a hotel just a few steps up. And so I just went inside into the lobby and started hanging out there in the lobby. because I knew that I was putting myself in danger, right? And this person was watching me. This person at one point literally parked this car and got out. So I knew that I needed to be safe. And so you need to know your red flags. You need to know when you need to be safe. Another example I can give you is that we were at a function, a party one time, and there was a stranger there that I didn't know. Most of us didn't know, but apparently he knew someone there. And he was paying special attention to my youngest daughter. At the time, she was 16. He kept having conversations with her, not with the adults, right? And she was clueless, but I knew. One of my other friends picked it up and said, hey, you need to watch him. I was like, I already got him, you know? And so I just pulled my daughter and said, hey, you know, you come stay with me for a while, you know? And I looked at the guy. I didn't say nothing to him because I didn't know what his true intentions were. But he gave me red flags. You see what I'm saying? So we have to know what those red flags are. Well, do you notice an adult paying special attention to your younger child more than what's normal? Do you notice them engaging in certain ways with your son, even though they're a male, right? Do you notice yourself feeling uncomfortable around someone? I've had people say, I don't like the way they look at me. Well, it might not mean anything, but it is a flag. It's just a red flag that says, stop. Let me pay attention to this person and what's going on. You know, I love to run and walk, and I was running over by Skeeter Stadium just a week ago, and I was in an area that's pretty kind of secluded, right? I didn't think anything of it, but suddenly I heard something behind me, and I turned. I was a little startled, but it was another person running. It was a man, and I thought, well, I need to not do this trail again, because you don't know if people are just watching what's going on in that area, and then they know what to do. We've had many incidents like over by Memorial Park, right? Where people just kind of scope out that area and know what to do. So you need to be aware of your surroundings, what's going on, what the times of day are. Those are red flags, okay? Because you don't want to put yourself in a situation. But to overcome your fear already, it is a mindset. It is a mindset that you have to say, not all men are the same. Not all women are the same. So you have to ease into that situation. You know, be around men in a controlled environment where you are safe. Work, for example, hanging out with your friends, right? Be careful of going, let's say that you're at a restaurant and it's an unfamiliar restaurant. Well, you might want to be a little cautious, you know, if you're fearful of that place, right? And ask one of your friends, hey, you're my good friend. Do you just mind coming with me? You know, I've had a bad experience and I need to kind of overcome it. The thing about fear, guys, is that it takes time to overcome it, but you got to keep walking. It's like when you fall off a horse, and yes, I've fallen off a horse before. When you fall off the horse, what do? You get right back on, but you're careful, right? I fell off because I was sitting too far back. This was when I was very young and didn't know any better. Now I know, right? You got to sit correctly on the horse. You got to do certain things with the horse so that you don't get bucked off, right? You don't fall off. So you got to do the same thing with your fears. Alrighty, I am going to stop there. I don't want to start repeating myself. If you need help with this, if you need help overcoming any fear, any past trauma, we are here for you. Gateway to counseling, right? We have lots of therapists with lots of experience, not just me. I only see a handful of clients through Gateway, but we have a lot of trained therapists that we have hired to help you with any given situation in your life. Just a click away, anytime, anywhere. We do take insurance, only $49 if your co-pays are high or you have that high deductible you haven't met for the year. Talk to you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.